JT, it is going to be a fun night here in Denver. We kick it off with 250 West Heat number 1. And this track is going to prove to be challenging this evening. We'll talk more about that in a moment once we get going. Again, just 2 points with 2 races to go in the 250 West Championship. RJ Hampshire, Levi Kitchen. Levi is in this opening 250 West Heat 1. Let's get it going here in the Mile High City. Kitchen is in the mix. He's center of your screen. He's out a little bit wide. Jo Shimoda with a really good start. Kitchen's been dropped back about 4 or 5 positions.
Well, he has, and Kitchen faded out to the outside right there, and he had to do that because he was a little bit behind about halfway down the straightaway. Had to make up that time and did some late braking.
Jordan Smith runs 3rd. Viney is off to a really good start, but it's Jo Shimoda aboard the 30. The factory Honda HRC machine.
Yeah, Talon Hawkins in the 2nd position right here. Been working, had an opportunity to talk to him press day yesterday and excited for his chances here tonight.
Ricky, this is what we've been waiting to see from Joe. Now, it's not like it hasn't happened this year, but starts has been his Achilles heel. This is more like it.
Yep, starts, and you look at his career, Diff, and history has shown it's been a slow start for him. All of his champions in past years just takes championships in past years, takes some time to get going. And so this is no surprise for me to see what he's doing, Will, out here. Get a little later than wanted to, but out here getting it done.
I asked him about that, Ricky, because it's a narrative for him, right? I said, are we just making this up? Are we imagining this? Or does this seem to go this way? And he said, yeah, it does, but honestly, I'm not really sure why. He said, maybe it just takes me a little while to set up the bike and start to feel comfortable on the setup. And he did say they've worked so hard. Like you said, he admitted that the starts had been a massive problem, but he said, I feel I've got those dialed. If I can do that tonight, I'm going to be in a good position. And we can see him, Ricky, doing that right now.
Well, listen, Will, he is on a really good run at the moment. 4 podiums in succession, 2 thirds, 2 second places. So maybe tonight's the night for Jo Shimoda's victory. Back to the championship contender, Levi Kitchen. He sits 4th.
Well, this is a good position for Levi because he got pinched off the start. Watch Jordan Smith. Okay, you see right there, he had to fight for this, so he's going to break late. And as he gets faded to the outside, Jordan Smith's going to use up the track and push Levi to the outside right now, JT.
Well, if you think about and remember where he got in trouble in Nashville, it's the exact same scenario. He got a great jump, powered down, and got pushed wide. That's where all the problems started in the heat race. And then, of course, we saw that the issues that he got in trouble with Cameron McAdoo in the main event. But, Will, this is the same scenario. He's got to break out of pushing wide in that first corner.
And of course, it didn't end well, JT. As we know, he got an injury from that. He posted afterwards on Instagram that he was at hospital, had a little bit of bleeding going on. I checked in with him today, see how he was feeling. And he said, honestly, I took the week off. He's like, I did have bruised ribs. He said, but no broken ribs. Sorry, bruised lungs, but no broken ribs. And he said, I'm not 100%. But he said, honestly, it doesn't bother me while I'm racing. He said, the break actually, classic Levi, he's like, it was kind of good. I got to do some other stuff and sort of reset here. So physically in pretty good shape, considering, JT, how serious that crash was.
Hey, Will, Jordan Smith has dropped his Yamaha, sitting in 2nd place, and he's gone down. Let's have a look at what happened to him.
Okay, 90-degree corner. Let's see if he tucks the front, and he does. What happens there in those 90-degree corners in the SMX track crew, while they were prepping the track after qualifying practice, put some water down, and as he's leaning the bike over to get position for the rhythm lane, just asked a little bit too much out of the front tire. That's an easy mistake to make, and happens to the best of them.
So, AEO Power Sports, Talon Hawkins now has Levi Kitchen all over him with about 2 minutes left, plus laps. We'll see how this shakes out, and Jo Shimoda has disappeared. Joe is now 8.3 seconds in the lead.
I know it gets redundant because we're talking about it so much, but these heat race finishes are so important, especially for the gate pick for that main event when you have 2 championship contenders. And Levi Kitchen, he tried to scare him a little bit to get Talon to possibly back off the throttle and not jump onto the tabletop, but he's just a little bit too far back to make that. But watch this pass right here.
Look at this. triple versus double. Just jumped his way through there on the inside. Nice work.
And that rhythm section is going to be very important in the 250 class. The reason that is because these guys are down on power and we're in elevation. It's tough for those guys to get that triple through that rhythm section.
So Jordan Smith's trying to claw his way back. So was in second, fell. It was a pretty benign fall, but he's able to recover. Look at those whoops. They have been proving to be troublesome and problematic for many riders today, but Jordan hung on just.
Jordan always so fast in the whoops, always has been, and how he's able to go so fast, number one, is he really commits to whoop entry speed, and he's able to maintain that speed on top of the whoops.
Cole Thompson was unable, JT, to fight him off or hold him off.
Yeah, and you saw Jordan Smith make that mistake, which is going to relegate him to a worse starting position in the main event, as Ricky was alluding to. I went down and looked at the starting gates, and luckily for Jordan, the base dirt is so hard here. You can see just how hard and packed in this Denver dirt is. It's not forming those rough and ruddy, difficult ruts on the other side of the starting gate, so he may get a really good starting gate. He may not be in the same situation we saw in Philadelphia, where some of the ruts were almost impossible to get a good start from.
Well, yeah, that's great analyzing, JT. And this dirt is very similar if you go back to when the last time there was a 250 showdown in Nashville. That dirt was very, very hard, and we talked about it during the broadcast of how that dirt is not forgiving. This is very similar, Lee. We were down on the track qualifying practice, and what you were talking about, the whoops, they are like concrete.
Oh, yeah, brutal.
Yeah.
You will not... I mean, you don't want to fall in the whoops at any stage, but especially tonight. Here's the 21-year-old Japanese rider, Joe Shimoda. He's had 2 career heat wins. His last one was in San Francisco. Remember that rainy night earlier this year in San Francisco, and Joe had a bit of a shocker there in the main event. He wants to forget that night, but this is good. On his way to a heat win with less than 2 laps to go.
I always feel like, too, you know, if I was in Joe's position, I'd be kind of kicking myself, thinking, man, I wish I could have started the series on a better note, and this kind of riding and getting these good finishes, because hey, I'd be in the championship position. However, this is a new team for Joe this year on the board, this Honda HRC factory racing machine, and it's been a work in progress for sure, and probably him learning the team learning Joe, and what he needs to perform at the highest level. But you know, better late than never, and this is true potential from Joe.
On his way home on the final lap, you know, he was only the 6th fastest qualifier today, but this goes to show it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, sometimes practice, although it is important for your gate pick in the heat race, you can't base your whole day off of qualifying practice, that's for sure.
Got a nice start and has cleared out. Look how far out in front he is, nearly 9 seconds. This has been a very comprehensive victory. So he'll go into the main event here on a beautiful evening in Colorado, feeling good. Joe Shimoda wins Heat 1 of the 250 West. Well done aboard his factory Honda HRC machine. Championship hopeful Levi Kitchen had to work a little hard and come through several positions. And a fine second place. Talon Hawkins, by the way, equals his best career heat performance with 3rd. So well done to the AEO Power Sports rider. But Joe Shimoda's your man. We'll be back with 250 West Heat 2.